Wow, is this thing on? Okay. Film outside, they said. Wow, I feel like I'm rehearsing, but no, seriously, film outside, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Well, no one but the other YouTubers who film outside that I don't really talk to. Film outside, they said. It'll be fun out, they said. Realistically, there is so many bugs. I was sitting somewhere else to film, and I kept thinking I heard buzzing, and then something flew right at me, so I ran, and now I am here on my lawn in a slightly less aesthetic area. So I have no idea how to do this, but I have a little cheat sheet of things because I always forget what I'm gonna say. So things I wanted to talk about, because this is an update, but a lot of things have happened. I've been working on a few projects and such. That's why I haven't been posting. I've been working on quite a few projects. I've been, as you can tell, this is a lifted neighborhood, not a private filming spot. But I've been working on a comic. I might or might not. I always say this. I always say I'm going to do a video, but I might do a video talking about what I'm making. And I've also been, as you all possibly know, cleaning my room. I haven't really filmed a lot of it, just because there's been a lot of stagnation, and also because sometimes I just don't want to be holding a camera while I'm going through my personal stuff. And also that brings me to my next point, or something I wanted to talk about. I haven't been filming because I've kind of been struggling with a lot of body image issues. Yeah, I have... The fuck is that buzzing? Sir. I did succeed in some areas. I did technically lose the fat, but beneath the fat there was a lot of muscle, and kind of like in the process of losing the fat, I think I also built more muscle, so technically the weight on the scale didn't change, which sounds absurd, but it didn't. But other things have definitely let me know that I did succeed in losing the weight. But yeah, the weight on the scale didn't change, but everything else did. Like, I get full easier, I have lots more energy and such, and people treat me different. Like, pretty privilege is so real. It really is real. I don't really know how to explain it, but people are a lot nicer. People tend to like gravitate towards you more. Like, I'll be in like the store or something, and like people just like go towards you, or they'll see you and they instantly want to like look at what you're looking at, because you know they see you and they think, I don't know what they're thinking, but it just happens a lot more often. People are definitely nicer. People see me different, but also I guess another part of the equation is I have a lot of loose skin in some areas from losing the fat, and so because of not being technically a different weight and having a lot of muscle and also having loose skin, my brain in the mirror and then the camera still sees myself as being really fat and such. And ugly, though I don't want to say fat is ugly. But to me, realistically, when you're fat, you know, it doesn't matter how actually pretty or handsome you are. Usually you see yourself as ugly, regardless of how true that actually is. And so because of all that, when I look in the mirror, I still see myself as fat, and as still gross, and still something I don't want to film. And I haven't wanted to film because I don't want to talk about I didn't want to talk about my success while, while still looking like I didn't really earn it. I want to be credible. I want to be honest. I don't really want to sit here and, you know, lie um, about that kind of thing. But yeah, people act differently now, and yeah, a lot of something they don't really tell you about self-improvement is that, like, when you're in a period of stagnation for a very long time and you start making progress towards being a better version of yourself and doing the things you want to do and getting stuff done, that your brain doesn't believe you. I still feel this, like, immense guilt when not enough has been done. Like, I feel like I need to hustle all the time and such. But I've been learning recently that that's not the point of all this. Like, one, I've been succeeding. I'm not stagnating anymore. I have to constantly remind myself I did a whole lot this year, and I've done a whole lot. I've completed, like, an outline for a comic. I've regained my health. I've written a book. I'm so close to finishing decluttering my room, something I haven't been able to do in half a decade due to depression and such, and just having no motivation or energy. And so I forgot where I was going, but I've been struggling with time management. I haven't really been struggling, but I've been struggling with, like, the guilt of, like, there's 80 million projects, and what if I don't get them all done? And if I'm not getting them all done, I'm failing. But again, it's not, what I've learned is it's not really about that. It's not really about how fast you can get a project done. That's not how fast you can do things. It's not how busy you look. We tend to, as a society, think that busyness is a virtue, that the more you clock in, the better your worth, and that's not really, I'm not about that life personally. I found that I've done best with working on things when I don't give myself the deadline, when I don't pressure myself, when I don't whip myself in the back for not being busy enough. Rest is important. They don't tell you how much resting is important. Yeah, like, where am I? But yeah, another thing is that I think I was mentioning people before I got distracted, but people, when they see you, some people, like, when they're insecure and they see you building yourself back up together, well, just in general, when you build yourself back up and you become, happier and, more engaged and doing better for yourself, you become more interesting, and people naturally will gravitate towards you. At least I've seen that for myself, and I've noticed people that, don't normally that didn't want to spend much time with me in the past, want to spend more time with me now. And I've kind of had to, like, cut off some relationships because of that kind of thing, where people were just expecting too much from me. Because people kind of, like, they see you're improving, and some people, they want more out of you and more because they think that your improvement is something that they're entitled to. And some people, they think they're better than you intrinsically, unfortunately. And I don't want to say that it's like, oh, I'm so, like, suffering. It's kind of something I've noticed, is people, when they see you're doing better. What's that red thing? Oh, that's the recording button. But no, when people see that you're doing better and you're working on yourself, and they kind of are insecure, they have this, like, delusion that they're better than you. They have to believe that they're better, because if they acknowledge that, you know, you're doing well for yourself and stuff, and they put you higher up in their little mental hierarchy than you, it threatens them. They do everything they can to try to beat you back down, um, like anything. And it's kind of, yeah, people, something I've definitely learned, improving on myself, is people do feel entitled to you. It's so weird. Like, they feel entitled to your time, your energy. If they see you working on yourself, and, you know, they're not like a dependent, but like they see you working on yourself, it's, why aren't you doing enough for me? And like, it's a weird thing. So like, struggling to, I've also been, you know, because I've been improving and dealing with that like pushback, it also has made me more stressed and anxious, and has made me more like, you know, tired, because when they, like, people don't tell you when you're stressed, no matter how good of in shape you are mentally, because it takes up so much, it takes up real physical energy to be stressed, to worry, to, you know, hold that like stuff inside. And that's not to say don't ever feel, because pushing down that resentment, I found, has that like anxiety and resentment and stress and those like flare-ups of annoyances, that doesn't really help anyone. That doesn't help you. You're just ignoring the problem in the moment. It's good not to show anything sometimes, but you can't keep that to yourself. You have to express it somehow. That's something I've learned, because I've learned that the quicker because I used to feel bad because I'm getting over being a people pleaser. So when I feel angry, I tend to feel guilty, like I shouldn't be angry. But I've been learning over time that the more I just express that and just like write about it, doesn't have to be to someone, it could just be in like a journal or something. Like, the more you do that, the better you are, because the quicker you can rebound from those emotions and such. And yeah, something I've been also trying to learn not to people please so much, because when you have people who feel entitled to your time, and you live in a society, which we don't want to talk about, but our society is based on subservience and keeping the peace or whatever. But keeping the peace isn't always the best option. Serving others doesn't mean anything if you're suffering too, you know? So being like extra nice and people pleasing and bending over backwards to take care of people who like, to like solve problems for people who really should solve their own. And I'm trying to learn this, because part of me wants to help. I really want to help, and I'm learning that I can't fix other people's problems. I can only fix my own. But I still can give the blueprint. I can still support. I can still do all these things, but I can't do the work for them. And not bending over backwards to settle all their arbitrary like crises. That's not me being a bad person. That's me defending my energy so I can work on getting into a better place. And because if I have enough, that means I can if I have enough, I can give some. But if I don't have enough and I give some, we're all screwed. That's something people don't really talk about when it comes to improving yourself, I think, is that you can't be nice sometimes. But yeah, that's a lot of it's unlearning guilt. I think I'm trying to unlearn the guilt of always having to be busy, always having to owe my time to things, like it, like I don't know, like that I have to be like a servant to the things I want to do, or to like the people around me, or like, or whatever. They have to like feel guilty. I don't have to feel guilty. I can just, you know, do things at my own pace. we only have 24 hours in a day. What really matters at the end isn't how much arbitrary stuff is done or how fast it's done. It's, did I have a good time? And, you know, I do love making progress on things, and that's kind of where like the guilt lies, because sometimes I conflate making progress with feeling good, and progress does feel good, but hustling doesn't feel good, if that makes sense. It's one thing to look busy and stuff, it's another thing to enjoy what you're doing. And so yeah, I've just been trying to unlearn a lot of guilt and such, and trying to relearn how to be. So, I got interrupted because I set an alarm and forgot I set an alarm and didn't turn the alarm off, and, yeah, I did an oopsie poopsie. But I think what I was trying to say is, like, it's different to, what matters at the end of the day isn't how productive or what some arbitrary number. It's something I'm trying to unlearn, is that the anxiety I'm feeling and the stress that I'm not good enough is not something that's actually belongs to me. That doesn't belong to me. It just belongs to the little ghosts of expectations in my mind and the trauma that of not, you know, moving forward in life and stuff. It's just the echoes of an old way of thinking that I don't have to subscribe to. And I found that taking it easy on myself, not trying to whip myself into shape, actually listening to myself, actually being gentle with myself, actually taking the time to rest when I need it, you know, being flexible, not holding a rigid schedule, not, you know, I could probably talk about this in another video, but yeah. So yeah, update out. Oh fuck.